Welcome to episode 360 of the Game Deflators podcast. My name is John, and I am joined by Ryan. Let her rip, Ryan.
Hey, everybody, here at the Game Deflators podcast. We like to talk about games we've recently picked up, games we're currently playing, and we get duped in this week's Inflation Deflation Challenge.
So this week we're playing a little bit of Prince of Persia 2 on the Super Nintendo. What's the full name here? The Shadow and the Flame. So this is a sequel to continue our sequel month of the original Prince of Persia. Not original, I guess, but whatever was on the NES. This is what we're playing this week. So, dude, I don't even know anymore. Like, if you look at it, it's like, oh, Prince of Persia was released on this console and this thing and this random PC device and this. Like, what the heck? And Prince of Persia 2 is the same. It was ported from, like, I want to say, like, the Microsoft or MS-DOS is what it was originally on. And it got ported over.
MS-DOS, Mac,
yeah.
SNES. FM Towns? I don't know what FM Towns is.
It's like a PC. I was so confused as well. I didn't know about that, but it looks interesting. So, these are technically during our era, but not during our era as far as things that we were playing. So, all right.
I still don't like computers.
All right. Well, beyond that, what else are we talking about this week?
All right, so I'm seeing double Nintendo's true feelings on games come out in the courtroom as they desperately try to grab for power. Then Sony sneaks out from the shadows to claim that which is not theirs. And we wrap it all up in another Arabian Night. I mean, Inflation Deflation Challenge.
I don't know, man. The notes just stopped here on Arabian Night. That's all I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, you can find the Game Deflators on thegamedeflators.com. We're also on social media at Game Deflators on X, at The Game Deflators on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and Blue Sky. You can also find us on YouTube. Hit the little bell if that's what's on there so you know when we're on. And we've got lots of shorts. We got podcast videos. Everything's on there. So check us out there. And then we are predominantly a podcast. So if you just like audio and don't like to see our faces, you can go ahead and check us out on all those great podcast applications in the market. But for that, leave us a 5-star review. Woo! It changes every week, Ryan. All right, pickups. More magic cards. Okay, so
I know.
so I
tried to get me to pick up magic cards.
Yeah. So I went to Costco and they had the Bloomborough Commander sets at Costco. And God, what was it? Like $45 per commander box. And so I went earlier in the day and I found the animated army, which is a raccoon one, which by the way is a crazy powerful deck. Like crazy powerful. You can bust out like 12 creatures on turn 4. It's crazy.
Dude, raccoons have like people hands. Like they're very powerful.
Dude,
creatures.
I love the art on this one too. It's like a raccoon bard and it has this crazed looking raccoon with a staff in hand and like colors all over. It's crazy. So that deck, I was playing with Rob. He came over last night actually with John and Joe and we were drafting my Bloomborough box. And yeah, he played that commander deck against me and it wrecked me every single time. Like I could not handle it. It was crazy. So the commander kits that are at Costco, $45 a piece. And I was like, let me see what they're going for online. It was like $75 plus shipping and they were paying out shipping. So it was, all right, let's go to Costco and get as many as I can. So I had my sister, my wife, and myself, all of Costco cards. And we picked up 6 of these things. I got 4 of the squirrel decks, which were like 70 or they were 45, sold for 75 each on eBay. And then with the shipping, obviously, add on top. And then I got the other 2 commander decks I did not have from Bloomborough. And so sold those 4. And I think it ended up being like after everything was all said and done, I netted at like $250 on the sold items and I had spent $270. So I got 2 commander decks or commander kits for $20 essentially. And I will say that those squirrel ones are actually kind of tough to find. So if you're going through and looking, in the pile of different Bloomborough commander kits, there was 4 to like 100 that were in there. And then everything else was the one with the, I forget the type of bird, but there's a bird that does like, I think it's for every 1/1 on the field, it gets like +1, +0, I think it is. And then the other one was like the hugs one with the bunny. Those 2 were like the predominant, like all over the place. I wish I would have known the price on the raccoon one though, because I would have gone by the next day and picked up more. But either way, I'm not going to be that greedy. I just wanted to get my 2 and to balance it out, so I got it for free. I went ahead and did that. So yeah, that was fun. So I got those. I told you earlier, my obsession with Bloomborough continued after I opened up my box. I ended up picking up the rest of the lands that I needed in foil. So there would be a total of 100 different lands, 5 or 20 per color because there's 4 seasons that are represented. So you have, spring, summer, fall, and winter for each Bloomburrow season. And I picked up all the colors on that. It was 83 different lands for $55 roughly with shipping. So I went ahead and grabbed that to
Did
fill
you get
out.
them all from like one person, or did you like build a
So it was,
cart and then optimize?
yeah, I had to optimize like 10 times. So what I did to do this is I put in everything I wanted, and then I found a number of sellers that were like pretty consistent. And so as I continued to build out, I went ahead and optimized and said, okay, I want you to find me um, the same exact style, right? But based on the seller. And it went ahead and optimized. And I was like, okay, well, let the sellers in some instances were maybe charging $4.99 for shipping. So I was like, all right, well, how do we optimize this differently? So I removed the seller piece and just said, find me the same set and the same series and the same type, so foil, and then give me that. And it went from like, it was initially like $85 or $90, and it went down to like $50 plus the shipping. It was like 55 after tax and everything. So yeah, so I got my Bloomburrow lands. I pulled what you did with the Kawigama set and did that for Bloomburrow. And I did all foil, which each land, it varied anywhere from 25 cents to $1.50. But I already had 17 of them in foil from all the packs that I had cracked from both this and drafting and other stuff that we had done. So I was pretty happy with that overall. And then what else did I get? I got a couple video games. I'll share those next week. And then I picked up a few different Magic cards that came in. I got a playset of this one called Pain for All. I got a playset of the Regal Bunnycorn. I got a playset of Entity Tracker. And then Kalia of Avast. This is a promo that came with the Bloomburrow Commander kits. So I had 3 of those because I got the animated army on its own, and then I got the other 2 later. So that is all my pickups for the week. And then as far as I'm currently playing, Witcher, I am continuing that. I am almost done with chapter 2. So we have found out who the individual is that is in charge of Salamandra and is trying to kill various people in this particular city we're in. And I am now heading off this giant tower where I'm going to confront this individual. And it's an alchemist. I forget his name. I think it's Kalkstein or something is his name, or Kalkstein. So that's who we're going to battle. And that'll hopefully complete chapter 2 and move me into chapter 3. And then we are playing Sands of Time still. So my wife and I are on chapter 3 of Sands of Time out of 10. And it's about 28% of a game so far is what it's considered. So that's where we are with that. Sands of Time is getting a little bit better. So I haven't had too much of the like wall jump back and forth anymore, which has been nice. I'm sure it'll come back again. But some instances it's kind of weird. I wonder if a little bit it's because I'm using a PS5 controller to 8-bit though setup, and there's maybe some input lag. Maybe that's affecting it, but overall, like, it's still a little clunky, but I'm getting the hang of it now that I'm consistently playing it. I'm kind of getting used to the clunkiness and used to that. If there is input lag, I'm getting used to that. So yeah, we're enjoying that so far. And then Ryan, the reason I said let her rip is I watched episode 2 of Beyblade.
How was it, John?
Oh my God, Ryan. It is. It's interesting. What happened last time? So prior to that, the main character, Tyson, battled the leader of the Bay Sharks. And no, he didn't battle him yet. He was ready to battle him. So they went ahead and started the episode battling. And the leader, Kai, destroys his Beyblade. And everybody, and he's, he goes off and does his thing. And then they find the kid named Chief that has a laptop and knows everything about Beyblades, but apparently he doesn't at the end of the episode. But they find him and they bully him in the middle of the street of Tokyo and say, "You're coming with us. You know too much about Beyblade and we need your assistance." So they take him in this random warehouse, which I'm kind of curious why a bunch of young kids own a warehouse that they're, with giant Beyblade stuff. Like, it's just, and who constructs this? Who funds this? I don't know yet. I guess we'll find out later on. Maybe there's some
Fucking
evil
Kaiba Corp, man.
There's got to be an evil corporation behind the Beyblades. And then apparently Beyblades can get infused with like dragon souls and shit. So yeah,
dude,
okay.
it's serious business.
Oh,
like I said, these aren't children's toys. These are world-ending weapons of destruction.
So, all right. So that's pretty much a predominant part of it. Like, that's it. Like, that's the full episode, right? But what gets me is after everything is said and done, like Kai and Tyson, they like battle, and it like his dragoon comes out, and the other one they have like this crazy animated, battle between these two Beyblades. And as he's leaving, he's like, "All right, you'll find out more soon, or whatever, my friend." And he walks away, and all the Bay Sharks jump on his giant Beyblade arena and hold their Beyblades with ripcords like it's guns, and they're just like pointing it at everybody, and then they start backing off. I'm like, what the fuck? What is
Yeah.
going on here? So that's been kind of interesting so far watching this. I couldn't get past the whole idea that they're literally holding up these like weapons. Like, what are you going to do? Spin it on me? And it'd be one thing if
I'll
all of
give you
them,
such a cut.
it's one thing if like all of their Beyblades had, this like dragoon infused in it and like it was super powerful. But no, these kids are running around with the same like random Beyblades that they can get at the store. So what is it going to
Right?
do? You're going to spin it, it's
You
going to
bought that for
fall?
$12 at Target. Don't fool me.
It's going to fall down the ground and like, okay, cool. I'm threatened. So yeah, that was my experience. And I am looking forward to episode 3. So that's where we are at Beyblade. So, all right.
Now I'm just waiting for you to actually buy Beyblades.
No, it's not happening.
Although you have too young of a child.
It's not happening. We're not buying
It will
Blade.
happen.
We're not buying Beyblades in this house. But I will continue to watch the show and provide my progress whenever it happens.
There you go. Keep us updated, John.
We've got almost a year's worth of episodes. It's going to be like a year's worth of just Beyblade talk coming through.
Oh my God. You're going to know more than I do. And I don't even know that much. So it won't take long.
How many episodes have you ever seen?
I don't know, dude. I watched it when it was on TV. And I think it was like, I probably watched like at least like the first season. I know that they got to like a world tournament and there was a lot on the line. I don't know. I never watched it too much after that, I don't think. I don't even know if all those characters are in season 2 or if it like Yu-Gi-Oh's into having different characters at some point. I think it
I
does.
don't
I think
know.
I've seen that there's like several seasons of different guys with different hair.
Probably. Or he just grows up and he changes his hairstyle. I don't know. But there's like Metal Fusion and Metal Saga or something and Metal Masters.
Yeah, those all have to have different pro tags, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I think they're all part of the same season. It's just like the Metal Saga has like 4 different seasons built in, and it's like Metal something, and then
I
there's like
don't know.
Beyblade X. I think. Look, I already know too much. I've gone down the rabbit hole. All right,
Watch all of it and tell us, John. Make a video about it. Make the definitive YouTube video essay on Beyblade lore and history.
I'm gonna have Beyblades behind me. Be like, I've gone too deep, Ryan. I'm on the deep end of Beyblade.
I am the Bay.
I let it rip too many times. All right, go on. Yeah, your pickups this week. We'll end with the Beyblade
All
talk.
right. So this week I got to go to pre-release for Marvel Spider-Man Magic the Gathering. And, there's been a lot of talk online and people are very upset with Universes Beyond. And I get it. I have talked about it before, I believe. And I just, you know what? I play Magic in a comic book shop. Spider-Man's there every week. He's already a part of the gathering. Like, there's nary a time I go and play Magic anymore that I don't see the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And now I get to play alongside him. You know what? I'm in for this. I think that Marvel and Spider-Man and Magic can all coexist, but it is going to take up way too much space. Like the fact that, and I did not get a Soul Stone, but the fact that the Soul Stone is like in this series, and then there's 5 more of those things, and there's so much Marvel, and it's just like, we don't even have X-Men in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's been around for like almost 20 years now. Like, can you believe that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like almost 20 years old and we still don't have the fucking X-Men? So it's like, it's gonna be a lot, and Magic people are gonna be very unhappy with it. And ultimately, I reserve the right to change my opinion and decide that it's shit and I don't want it to happen anymore. But at least for this pre-release, having fun with Spider-Man, I was in for it. Like, I tried to make like a fun, cool deck that did interesting things. What was I doing? I was doing a mayhem deck. I did black, red, and green, I believe is what I did. And it didn't go well. I finished actually I think I lost all 3 games. But I did okay in a lot of them. Like a lot the first match I got absolutely destroyed, both games. And then the second match we went like to rounds. And actually I think we went to rounds on the third game as well, or turns or whatever. So it was good. I liked it. Some of the cards are interesting. It is a lot of Spiderman. Like I think that
Spider-Gwen as well.
they yeah, actually I did get so one thing I thought was fun that I didn't know. Gwen with Gwenum. I like that. I like Gwenum. That's fun.
Is that a legit thing?
Yeah, dude. I got it right here actually. But it's yeah, there should have been more cards in this set, and that would have been cool, and it would have made it a little bit more, I don't know. Here.
Got a little glare on the name. Oh my god.
And then I did get one of the flippy ones. I got this flippy Spider-Man.
Huh.
So
yeah,
it's not. I really wanted like the comic booky looking one. I thought that would have been cool. I got a pack that I'm just probably never gonna open.
crack it open now.
So I don't open my packs. I
Come
played
on.
with my packs.
Come on, crack it open now on the podcast. You got a pack. Let's do it.
But then it won't be like in a pack anymore.
So you
It'll
got
be
more.
loose,
You got more
hanging
packs.
out with all my other cards that I'm never gonna do anything
That's
with.
totally cool. Crack it open. Let's see it. I do this to
All
Will
right,
whenever he
let's
comes
see.
on.
Let's see. We got a robot,
A swamp.
a land.
That's a good one, isn't it? That's an uncommon. Okay, Spider-Gwen Free Spirit. Origin of Spider-Man.
Is that my rare? That's my rare. See, I always get the worst rares. Like, who cares about that? That's not like
Robotics,
a cool looking
Crawl,
comic booky Spider-Man image.
Hobgoblin.
That's what I want.
There you go to hot dog cart. That's exactly what you needed.
Dude, so the hot dog food tokens,
Whoosh.
that's where it's at. That's
Subway
the best
train?
card in the game.
What in the hell? I am not buying any of his shit. Daily Bugle report. No, I am not touching this set at all, dude. No way.
It's fun.
Hot
if you
dog-
like Spider-Man,
Subway
it's
Train.
fun.
How lazy has Magic gotten? It's Subway Train as a card name.
Here, see? It's on the back of the robot. Boom. The best food token.
It's a pretty cool food token. I will say that is a
Yeah.
good food token. I might
You
get
should
that
put
one.
it in your raccoon deck. I'm sure your raccoon deck needs
Actually, I do need to do. Yeah,
Get the grubby hands
it
on a
actually
hot dog.
does. It does use food tokens, I think, in that one.
So I am going to try to go to draft for this set because apparently this set drafts different. I guess it drafts in a 4-man pod, and it's draw 2 or pick 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's just because it's so low in the card count. I don't know exactly why. But also, I mean, like the shop that I go to, like if there's 12 people there, we'll just like do a 1 12-person table or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. Like no variety in your packs at that point.
Yeah, so
Or no,
it's,
too much variety, I should say. Way too much variety.
yeah, because you see like you see the pack like 1.25 times
Well,
depending on where it starts.
Yeah, like you pick blue. Do you get another blue card coming your way, like at all? You know, like you don't know. So I guess I don't know.
I mean, everybody basically gets like 1 card out of a pack mostly.
Yeah, it's
wild.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it only makes its way to you one time. So you get 2 cards for your original pack. Because you have 15 cards in pack. So
yeah.
Interesting.
But anyways, Spider-Man, it's cool. I thought it was fun. I mean, obviously it's not going to last forever. Like that's kind of the crazy thing is just the clip that we're going at now. Like it feels like I think I did pre-release and 2 drafts for Edge of Eternities. Maybe just pre-release and 1 draft. I don't even remember, but it just like, man, they're just like come and gone, and there's no like staying power. Like I was talking to one of my opponents, and we both miss like, set and then like two expansions, and you get to like see kind of like similar themes and things develop and stuff. And now it's just on to the next fucking thing. And then it's probably going to be like, we're probably going to get like 3 Marvel sets next year or something crazy. Like, who
Well,
knows?
and that's what I complained about, man. When it's going back to the not original style, but the blocks for Magic, right?
Yeah.
You kind of stay in that world. So like the Lauren block, has all of its different creatures that are built into that and very similar scenery.
I can't wait to go back to Lorwyn.
The Alara block, I think it is. You have like Conflux, Shards of Alara, and Alara
I
Reborn. Yeah, I mean, well, they weren't that great of a set in my opinion, but you know what I mean. Like you had those specific blocks.
Greatly nostalgic Alara block. I don't give a shit, but
It was Conflux was good. Shards was okay. Alara Reborn is like 3-color Cascade. There's some interesting stuff in there, but it wasn't really like a really good set in my opinion.
it just wasn't your magic.
It wasn't my like I didn't like it too much. But that's what I was used to, right? Like theming out like a few sets at a time. And you really get to play a lot with those cards and really have a lot of fun with those particular worlds. And you just don't get that anymore. Like I would
Yeah.
love to see Edge of Eternities blown up into several other, pieces, right? Like,
Yeah, it would be super cool if it was like, let's let's make our own magic Star Wars. Like in the first set, like you get like the equivalent of the Death Star and Alderaan blowing up and all of that stuff, but it's like there were no like who was the hero character? Like there was the bad guy, right? Like wasn't there like one planeswalker or
I
something
think
and
it's
he's like the
Tezzeret.
bad guy in the set?
I think it's Tezzeret in that one. But like, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't really feel too attached to it. Like, I like that set, but it's not like I'm super attached to it because, well, now they've moved on to Spider-Man. Now, if you had something
Yeah, it's
else,
already gone. Like you're never gonna see another spaceship again
yeah,
until they bring Warhammer back in Warhammer 2,
yeah, exactly.
Electric Boogaloo.
Even like the one that came out when I got a little bit more back into Magic initially was the Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and then you had the
That's when
other
I
one,
got back in.
yeah, and then
I
the
got
other one I
way too
forget the
much.
name, uh, the Crimson one,
Crimson Vow.
yeah, Crimson Valley. Like, even those were kind of closely related in terms of
Yeah, it
style.
was like werewolves and vampires back
Yeah,
to back.
yeah, that kind of worked, right?
And then they
Like,
did the double feature, which was like the worst Magic product ever, where
so
they
dumb.
literally just put both packs together.
Yeah, and it was like black and white. So yeah, like that to me was kind of cool too. Like I enjoyed that, but then this whole like Universes Beyond being added into the standard block, I think throws everything off. So I'm not a huge fan of it. All right, but
Oh,
yeah,
the Spider-Man lands. I like the Spider-Man lands. It's like web, but in that
yeah,
shape and color.
I
It's fun.
saw them. I'm not a huge fan of the Spider-Man lands. Like I like the
If you
cow.
have a spider like deck, that's cool though.
Yeah, if you're specifically spiders, it makes sense. Like just spiders, but no Spider-Man. Yeah, perfect. But like I like the Kawigama lands. I like the Bloomborough lands in terms
Yeah.
of full art. And then the some of the ones that came out of like I think it was Innistrad, the Midnight Hunt, that haunted type of background. I like those as well.
Yeah,
So
I've got for my red lands right now, I've got like the black and white mountain
mhm.
lands
Yeah, those
because
are
I
pretty
think that
cool.
they're kind of cool and different. And then I
Yeah.
love Zendikar, I think are my favorite. Like the
Yeah.
full art Zendikar, those are the best.
The originals on the car.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah, I've got the full art Zendikar forest lands because they're just so lush and green and beautiful. Anyways, currently playing, I'm still playing Silksong and it's going okay. Like I've explored most of the map for I guess I'm still in chapter 1 because I think chapter 2 doesn't start until you get to the Citadel. So like I hit the last judge who I think is the final boss of chapter 1 and then I just kind of like went back through the map and tried to hit every spot that I potentially could go to that I hadn't already been. And most of that stuff is gated by abilities and stuff that I don't have yet. So I did almost all of chapter 1 so far. I I don't know. I think I threw probably like 30 minutes at the last judge, maybe a little bit more this morning. Wasn't able to beat her, but or him, I don't know. But I'm having a fun time. I've started making little changes to my build and trying out different equipments because it's like I got the Reaper crest, which allows you to have two like sub weapons. And so the sub weapon that I've been using is this like spiky ball. You throw it out, and then if an enemy comes like close to it, it like spikes all out and hits them a bunch of times. Or if it gets hit, or sometimes if they hit it in a different way, like all the spikes will shoot out. And then I got another like charm that you can equip in your other slot that makes it so all your sub weapons do poison damage too. So that was like doing really great damage for me. And then I just found these like uh tacks that you can throw on the floor. And this boss like dances on the tacks. So I can get through phase 1 pretty okay, but then like the fire damage in phase 2 is pretty crazy and the pace was just a little tough. I'm finding that a lot of the challenges in Silksong for me are very much beatable when you kind of take a learning approach and sleep on it, because your brain, I've always heard this, like absorbs a lot of information after you sleep on stuff. So a lot of times, like if something's really challenging for you, do your best to work on it, and then tomorrow come back to it, and you should have internalized a lot of that data, and it should download while you're sleeping. So a lot of things that I can't beat one day, I come back the next time and I'm able to beat it. So I think that if you're trying to like brute force your way through a game and you don't have any other plans, I think Silksong could definitely be pretty frustrating in that instance. But if you have some time where you can walk away and do other things and then come back, I'm still having a good time with it. I have looked up a few things just to make my journey a little bit easier. Obviously, I'm not a tryhard. I'm never gonna beat this game probably, so I might as well give myself every advantage to make it as far as I possibly can in my playthrough. So I'm doing that and having a good time. And let's see, what's the last thing I did? I did the slab, which is like in another area that you go to. It's kind of like, I love a game where it does a prison scene, like where you get captured and you lose all your equipment, you got to break out of jail. That's like, I love that in Fable. There's a couple other games that you do that in. It's always a fun time. So they do that in Silksong here, and it was, I was expecting it to be honestly a lot more difficult because it's already a hard game. So if they take away your gear, but since realizing that in Silksong, like the only thing you get for killing enemies is you get some lore, like there's a bestiary. So I think once you kill every enemy once, you can go back to this person and fulfill like a side quest. Um, but you have to kill some enemies a certain number of times to unlock like their full entry. But other than that, they'll drop you either currency, which you can way easier farm somewhere else. Like every so often, if I need stuff, I just go back to this one spot. I do like 20 minutes of farm and I leave with like a few hundred, and that keeps me going for everything I need. The other thing that they'll drop is like the material you use to make more of your tools, which is way easier to get if you just farm actual currency and buy them from a vendor, because you can just buy shard bundles, which are the material for crafting. So everything can be solved through farm. There's really no reason to kill anything. You don't get experience, you don't get anything. So it's like if you're in a hard area or situation, you just run through it. Like there's nothing stopping you other than just trying to fight them for like the fun of it. So I found the prison like to lean into that a lot. They had traps and stuff that were around, so you would use the traps to kill the enemies for you because you really weren't doing any damage because you didn't have your weapon or abilities or anything. So I don't know. It's tough. I'm not gonna say that it's not hard as hell, because like there's definitely gonna be like late game stuff that would destroy me and I'm never even gonna see it. But I do think that it's more doable and is again just another kind of internet hyping stuff up to be the Dark Souls of this. I mean, it's true, but it's still just internet people talking.
Gotcha. Well, sounds like you're having a pretty good time, but overall though, so that's nice.
Cheers. Yes.
You know what? I am not drinking any alcohol tonight. Damn.
No, I've got, what do I have? Lunar Pumpkin Harvest.
Yeah, you do like your pumpkin beers.
I
Did I
do.
did I tell you we got a whiskey recently? I forget the name. I'll send you a picture when it's done, but it's like an apple
Is
cider
it
whiskey.
pumpkin whiskey?
No, it's an apple cider whiskey. And it tastes
Ooh,
yeah, it tastes just like apple cider. Let
I
me
like it.
you know what? Screw it. Let me just look it up right now.
I've heard what is it? It's a forest fire. You mix like Angry Orchard with Fireball.
I found it here. It's called King's Creek. It's their black it's only like 18 bucks, so it's not like um the best whiskey. But yeah, it's King's Creek Black Label Cider Bourbon. Take a look at that one. And it's pretty good. I mean, there's obviously other apple cider whiskeys out there in the market, but we had that one and we enjoyed it. So
Yummy.
yeah, yeah, good stuff. All right, let's get into our. Oh, I just realized I closed out my lighting when I did that. Let's put it right here. Okay, so all right, Nintendo. They have responded to Palworld's initial part of the lawsuit, or really the defense that came through on prior art. And so this comes to us from Game Rant. And so basic approach here as to what it is when Palworld submitted their defense, they submitted examples of other art that's been in the market before that Nintendo could have theoretically gone after, right? And Nintendo did not, right? At the end of the day. So one of these, and there's others, but the main one that kind of sticks out is Pocket Souls. And that was a mod that was put into Dark Souls 3 to be able to do Pocket Souls, which you can all imagine is Pokemon related type of Dark Souls. And so the argument there is, hey, that infringes on Nintendo's concepts, right? Nintendo's argument back and what they're trying to get thrown out is that mods don't count as a game, right? You have to have the initial game, and then the modifications that sit on it are not really a game, is what they're saying. I call BS on that. So as far as mods are concerned, there's still copyright infringements a bowl, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, right? Like you could still claim
Yeah, like you
copyright
can't
infringement.
just make a mod that infringes on copyright and be like, it's not a game.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
exactly.
you can't sue me.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So Nintendo is very much saying like, oh, we don't care about mods. So what you're saying, Nintendo, is that we can make Zelda mods now for Dark Souls and there's no issue. We could have Link fighting in the middle of, Dark Souls and there's no issue. It doesn't infringe on your copyright because it's not a game. That's pretty much what's being said here. So you can't chase this, Nintendo. Like you've already straight up said that it doesn't count. So
Does
that
copyright go against other things like if somebody wrote a book with the concept of Pokeballs, would Nintendo be able to be like, you can't write that book? Or reversely, like, there's been so much writing, like somebody in the past must have written about an idea similar to a Pokeball, like in the 70s, right?
I mean, I think it depends on how they have it in
Or is it
place.
only games that they care about?
No, I think it depends on how they have it in place. So, like, if they have Pokemon comic books, which they do, or if they have like Pokemon kids books that talk about like capturing monsters and that whole concept, if you were to copy that, unless it was done in parody, I think they could claim infringement on that concept. If the
Like
entire
somebody has to have written. I mean, like obviously they're citing other sources beyond like the Dark Souls mod.
yeah,
Um,
but like
but yeah,
for
like that's
I mean, the book component,
right.
right? Like, let's just say you created a book right now and you took the entire, let's just say like red and blue, right? That Gen 1. And you wanted to create or season 1, I guess I could say. And you wanted to create an entire book. And each episode, you essentially replaced Pallet Town with like another town. And you replaced Ash with another protagonist name. And Gary with somebody else. And Misty. And like you flip flop that. And you change the names of the monsters. But the entire purpose is I'm going around this world and I am throwing a sphere to capture different creatures, right? I can see Nintendo chasing, say like, no, that entire concept is Pokemon, and all you do is change the names, right? In that, so I'm not a lawyer, right? So we'll lead with that, I guess.
Not
But
legal advice.
not legal advice, never is on this podcast, but I can see where they would chase somebody in that instance. And if it's a writer, I mean, unless it's like a crazy, like super popular writer, it's making millions. Highly doubt they're going to try and contest that in court against Nintendo. Nintendo's going to throw a couple lawyers, a cease and desist, that book's gone, right? In the instance of Palworld, I understand, where Nintendo's coming from, throwing spheres and that nature, right? I totally get it.
They
Um,
should have just made them cubes. Like, I don't know why
I,
Palworld didn't just respond by turning it into a cube and being like, problem solved.
I said initially the way to get out of this was all Pocket Pair had to do was replace, the sphere with a neck gun of some sort, and
Yeah.
and you capture it. Like that gets rid of a whole sphere aspect, and it keeps the concept of the game still alive because there's guns in the game. So it's not like it's abnormal to have, you know, throw in neck guns at stuff, and a neck gun that's widely used throughout gaming in general. So like, what's Nintendo going to do on that, right? Like, I would still play Power World if there was a neck gun. There wouldn't be an issue there. Like, what's the difference between a sphere and a neck gun for me? And so I can totally see Nintendo's point on, things of the sphere and all that being like a Pokeball. And there's adjustments that can be made, of course. But the issue, of course, what we discussed last week, it's very broad patent claims, things that they didn't have patented initially, the summoning aspect, like all of that Nintendo is trying to argue like they should own. I would argue they shouldn't, but I do also see Pocket Pair's side of things here too, with this instance of prior art. It's like if you're that, entwined with your IP of Pokemon, or kind of ownership wise, because it is technically the Pokemon group, but or Pokemon company that owns it. But if you're that like stuck on this IP and it Palworld's infringing on it, then why aren't you chasing other instances out there in the market that infringe on it? They're not. So
Well, and
go on.
why did it take you 30 years to patent it? Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to make a patent when you're in Gen 8 of your own creation. Like, hey, wait, did anybody think to lock this down? It's been like 30 years. The people who grew up on this are old enough to profit from it by recreating it in their own image. We should stop that shit.
Sure, they have patents that exist for like Pokemon. Like the ones that they've done recently have been tied to some of the newer releases. So I
And get away from Pal World. But it's just like the whole thing is like on its face, blatantly ridiculous. And different lawyers have called it out. Like they say in this article that it's like they have to interpret these patents so broadly in order to cover it the way Nintendo's trying to. And by making that excuse of being that broad, it eliminates any basis that the patent has to stand on anyways, because it is so broadly interpreted that it's just a general fucking idea. And then on top of that, like Nintendo's principles of deciding that video games are products and that's where it ends. Like Nintendo, Shigeru, Shigeru Miyamoto himself has said, or you can find it online at least, his beliefs that video games are not an art form. And he does not respect them in that way. And that's kind of a shitty stance for like one of the major three companies that's like, and the one that has the most affection and the one that people believe in the most is on the side of video games, is purely only in it for the money, and they really could care less about the rest of it. It's just dollars and cents and bits and code and lawyer talk to them at the end of the day. And it kind of shows, like when you haven't had a new idea in 30 years, like you keep just relying on the same old shtick over and over again, because it's like we already came up with the thing. You just got to keep doing the thing again and again and again, and people will buy it, especially if you talk down to them and make them believe that you're their friend.
Nintendo is not anybody's friend. And we've said it countless times, and others have said it too. They're so anti-consumer in the way that they approach things. and and people continue to purchase those products, right? And continue to like buy anything Mario related that they can. And it's, not to say that I don't
$50 amiibo? Excuse me?
I mean, like I said, it's premium cardboard and plastic that you're talking about here, all proprietary. Uh yeah, watch, they're going to try and patent action figures at some point. Technically,
Sorry, Batman.
Skylanders was doing this before Amiibo, weren't they?
Well, and I've got that Switch game. What's the Starlink?
Yeah,
Starlink, and I've got the two ships. I've got an R-wing right here. But like
I see it. Yeah.
those have like guns that you can take off and like a little character that you can swap out, and like you can swap all that out like in real time in the game. Nintendo's trying to pretend like they're $50 fucking Kirby's, which is so stupid. It's two characters, and then eventually they'll release more, but it's just like, to start off with, you're gonna just be like, here's two guys, and you could put either Kirby on this car or you could put Kirby on that car, and each car will independently gain experience, and nobody gives a shit because you're never gonna do it. And like 8 of you are even gonna take it out of the box.
I actually bought a lot of Amiibos when I was playing Odyssey because I could switch up the outfits, and I look at them as like little action figures, right? So throw them on a
It
shelf,
was
crack them
fun in
open.
Mario Maker, where you could like make all the different like character sprites and stuff.
Yeah, like if there's a good purpose behind it, it's fun, right? But I'm not going to spend $50 on a damn Amiibo. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
have one amiibo. I've got my Game & Watch boy, and I got him within the last year because I just randomly went in and I was like, oh, they don't even like have those out very much anymore. And I guess they did some kind of restock, and I just paid like a regular price at a GameStop, and I'm probably never going to buy another one.
yeah, I bought the ones that I really like the characters and like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and stuff like that. Like if I like the character, then
Yeah.
I got it, right? I
You
wasn't
got it for the same reason you would buy any merch for a game that you enjoy,
yeah.
not
Whereas
because it's an amiibo.
and not because it's Nintendo or Mario, right? Like I'm not if and there's a difference, right? In liking the Mario franchise and playing a game or two and then FOMO, right? On everything that's tied to it. Like it's okay to like something and okay to play and enjoy it and consume that product. It's another thing to obsess over it. And I think a lot of people don't know that line. And that's where Nintendo comes in to say, we know you don't know that line. So we're going to send you cardboard Virtual Boys and Nintendo Labo and all these other crazy products that are going to cost us pennies to a dollar, but we're going to, rip as much money from you as we can because it's not art. It's just a product and you're consumers.
Yeah.
So
It's wild too, like how some of that can take over. Like sometimes I have to sit back and remember how much Pokemon has like is a part of my life in ways that it's just like, it's not like I play, well, actually no, not it's not true. Ever since Pokemon TCG Pocket came out, every single day I've opened that app like at least once to rip packs. I think there's been like a couple of days where I had like my 2 packs capped out when I came back into it. But like, I mean, I've got like a whole Pokemon shelf here. I've got a freaking Cubone tattoo. Like, Pokemon is a huge part of my life, but more so in like a nostalgic way, or a way that I do enjoy. Like when a new game comes out, like I don't know, I might play Legends ZA when it comes out. It looks somewhat interesting. I never bought or played Arceus, like I've not played and bought every generation, but it's just that Nintendo's such a part of the things that I like that it's so hard to get away from them, and it's just like, it sucks to see them not be what you would like them to be. But yeah, like Nintendo's nobody's friend. They're out to destroy Palworld. They're actively trying to make games worse, and the future for creating games worse for everybody, purely as a profit standpoint reason. And as a way that's not even going to impact them. Like, guess what? Palworld's already been out. It's already been selling. Like, if Nintendo sees like 1,000 less people buy Pokemon than they want. They're gonna like try to crucify this company and blame them entirely, other than the fact that like it just looks like trash and you built a game in a city and couldn't make buildings that looked interesting to save your goddamn life.
I just hope there's a judge out there one day that like looks at Pokemon, looks at Palworld, and says, "Man, you guys need to step it up and make it look like this game." Right? And
You guys need to go touch grass. Get outside.
And that's the whole beauty of competition, right? And maybe that's part of it. Nintendo's gotten away with putting out crap games for the most part, in terms of like putting in the bare minimum of what they should do, and like not, and ignoring what their fans have been asking for years, and like a really high quality Pokemon game. And then Palworld comes out, embarrasses the hell out of them, and now it's like, oh no, like we can't have that in market because people will know that we could have been doing this the whole time. So yeah, look, end of the day, I understand both sides of the argument. But yeah, and to your point as well, right? Like just because Palworld is out, it really doesn't affect Pokemon all that much. People are still going to buy Pokemon products if they love Pokemon, and are going to buy Palworld products as well if they're interested in Palworld. I don't see Pokemon taking a major hit here. It's such a big part of culture at this point, for everybody. Maybe you can argue younger audiences, but they shouldn't even be playing Palworld to begin with, just based on the content that's in there. So I don't know. I think
they should be playing Call of Duty.
Nintendo's got its hold on the market already of Pokemon, and the Pokemon company does as well. It's like looking at Google Chrome and Edge and like Google and Bing in terms of search engines, being like, oh well, that copies everything that we've done, and the market's like the market's already owned by Google in that aspect, right? For search engine, Bing and Yahoo and all that, they're a very small portion of it. So in the same light, Pokemon has that hold on the market. Just because Palworld's there, yeah, it has a small piece of the pie, but Pokemon's the main part of that pie. So
yeah,
and I don't think it's going anywhere, right? So
I know when I forget who's behind it, but like when the company that makes Palworld can just like repackage like a terrible game that nobody cares about and just throw the Palworld aesthetic on it, then they can be a rival. But like with Pokemon like Troze and Pokemon Mix Cafe and that new Ditto game, and just there's so much Pokemon stuff that you even forgot exists. Pokemon Unite, like there's so much out there that nobody even knows about. Pokemon Go, like as soon as there's a Palworld equivalent of every garbage way to waste 5 minutes of your time you could imagine, then Nintendo can make a big stink about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, talking about lawsuits, this was yours. Tencent has responded to Sony's lawsuit against Slavish Clone, or Slavish Horizon Clone, stating Slavish, right? Slavic. Oh,
no,
I see what you're saying.
Slavic. It's Slavish.
Well, you know what? It's the same thing, like Slavish and Slavic. Let's see.
No, it's not. Like it's
no, I know it's
not. This was developed in Northern Europe.
Where's the Slavic? Oh, it would be Slavic, not Slavish. I'm so bad with pronunciations, dude. I should have just given you this one.
We gotta let me talk about my articles, John.
Well, okay, let me finish. They're stating its claims of originality are startling. My pronunciation of Slavish and Slavish are also startling.
John apologizes to all Slavic people.
I had Slavic people in mind. I was like, that's so weird. It's Slavic, but okay, I'll go with it. All right, go on, Ryan. Good stuff.
Yeah, so not trying to be outdone by Nintendo, Sony decided that it's their turn to take aims at trying to claim something is original and wholly theirs, and disrupt the ability for future video games and creation, and try to just kind of doom everything. Like the enshittification begins with Nintendo, and Sony's all aboard. So basically we all had the reaction that Sony is angry about. This game, Light of Motorum, had a trailer and everybody was like, wow, is this a new Horizon game? And no, it was not.
That's where it should stop.
Own game.
That's where your argument should stop, Brian.
Made by Tencent, and Sony's like, you know what? We own this genre or whatever. They're basically trying to state that nobody else is allowed to make a game with robot dinosaurs and tribal aesthetics. That is purely Sony's place to go. And it's BS, especially when you look at all of these statements from the studio and, the people who made the game saying what their inspirations were. So, like, when something inspired you to make something, and then you made that, and then that inspires somebody else to make something, like, that's just the creative process. That's been around forever. And when you try to stifle that and clamp it down and say you own it, like, that sucks and makes you suck. So stop it, Sony. Uh, but the one that like really blew my mind here was a game that I don't even ever remember hearing about. What
Enslaved.
was it
It's
called?
Enslaved.
Yeah, yeah, Enslaved. Um, and
Odyssey to the
it's
West.
Yeah, Enslaved Odyssey. That's what it was. 2013 game, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. And it's not just some little indie game. I mean, this is made by Ninja Theory, published by Bandai Namco. Like, this probably had an E3 trailer that I completely forgot I saw at some point, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, it's a red-haired girl in a post-apocalypse with big robot monsters that she's fighting. I'm pretty sure it's third person. Like, there's so much of that same DNA from way earlier by this other studio, and Sony just can't decide all of a sudden. I don't know. I'm over these companies trying to pull this move, and I feel like this is just starting. Like, I feel like we heard about this Palworld thing, everybody anticipated it coming up, but now that all these, major companies are trying to just decide that they own things and take it to court, it gives me a really bad feeling about where games are going and what it's going to be like for creators in the future, especially with like AI. Like, once AI takes over and you can just be like, hey, make me a copyright royalty free version of Mario, and AI just does it. Like, okay, all the boundaries are gone now. Like, you could just have AI do whatever you want, or even at that point, like, who's even playing the same games or anything? Like, it's going to get so weird, and I don't want it to start with all of the companies trying to just lay down claims here, because that's how we've gotten as far as we have. Like, if there was no Doom clones, where would video games even be today? You know?
So my thing with this is when I look at Enslaved and I look at Horizon, there's distinct differences, right? Like you look at Enslaved and you don't think automatically, oh, that's Horizon. Or look at Horizon and think, oh, that's Enslaved. With this game, people thought this is a new Horizon. It looked like an exact clone. When you look at the protagonist, it looks like an exact clone. I get what you're saying.
It does
That
not look like.
it
I mean,
look
she's got red hair and tribal aesthetics and like some metal on her clothes. And
it
that's
looks
the
it
that's
looks
the like
very similar.
no, dude, she looks like a generic like Monster Hunter character.
Right.
She
It
looks
is
nothing like Aloy at all.
this in my opinion is an instance of copy my homework but don't make it look obvious. That's what it
I
looks
mean,
like to me. But here's the other thing. So to me, it does look like a clone. It looks like they are trying to get as close as they can to grab people's attention on a game, those that loved Horizon, to pull them in. And the other thing that is mentioned in this article too is Tencent has come out and said, "Oh well, it needs to be thrown out because this is a another developer that works under Tencent technically, but it's not
well,
us. You shouldn't sue us. You should
no,
sue them."
so if you're writing a legal document to like take somebody to court, you have to be accusing the right person. Like, there's probably a lot of John Smiths, and you probably want to get the right John Smith. Like, you can't just take any John Smith to court because you got a problem with one of them.
Yes, but the thing is that this developer is owned by Tencent. So they're suing Tencent like, "Hey, this is part of your company. This is they're still working for you. You're still throwing the dollars behind it." So I get that piece, but also Steam listing on this game because it's not out yet. It's supposed to come out in 2027. So what Sony's doing is they're getting ahead of it. They're not trying to pull a Nintendo where the game is already out of market. It's selling millions and millions of copies and all that. Sony's trying to get ahead of this before it even releases. And
yeah, but it's not out. So that's like future crime.
no, I know. And that's the thing. So that's part of the argument too, right? It's like, hey, well, the game's not out. It could look very different and you don't know 100%. But I will say that the Steam listing, they have removed certain art and certain descriptions since all of us started. So in a sense, that's almost admitting, that you're in the wrong. If you're removing art, and Pocket Pair's doing the same thing.
Or they're updating assets.
Maybe. Or Pocket Pair's done the same thing. They remove certain things based on patents.
If you want to talk about Fortnite is the biggest game in the world, and it is nothing like the full demo. I watch YouTubers do full videos on what Fortnite was, and it became an entirely different game.
Yeah,
so
and I don't think this is an instance of hey, the genre and it's robot monsters and slavish clothing and this and a redhead character running around in this post-apocalyptic world. I don't think that's really is the argument in my mind. I think it's more so in the aesthetic aspects. It looks the same. I think that's what it comes down to for me looking at it. Now, obviously, I haven't read the full lawsuit, and this one is your article, but if in the lawsuit specifically states robot dinosaurs or robot creatures and, different types of animations and things of that nature that are tied in post-apocalyptic world, then yeah, I agree with you. It needs to be thrown out.
Yeah, but you can't go to court and just be like, this looks like the thing that we made.
You
you need to be specific. You can't be like, well, we don't own the idea of robot dinosaurs, but this has robot dinosaurs and our thing has robot dinosaurs. You can't accuse them of doing a thing and then not being able to provide specific examples of things that you can't own.
I'm going to try and share my screen
it just
here.
looks like a high definition game with robot dinosaurs. Nobody's gonna make a robot dinosaur that looks 8-bit and put it out in a 3D HD third-person action game. They're all gonna look cool. They're all gonna look like robot dinosaurs, and they're all gonna be in brand new Unreal Engine 5 with glossy textures. That's just how games are made now.
So I think I'm going to try this screen share thing, see if it works. I'm going to share screen in the middle of the podcast and see what happens. So we're going to go to a window.
Hold on, folks.
We'll do this one. All right, cool. Can I move it? Oh, sweet. I can. Okay, cool. Look at that. Dude, that's almost identical. If you just put Horizon
it looks
over
any screenshot, you could go or any kind of thing in
look at
Steam.
that.
You could go to Steam and find 100 things that look like that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, come on.
And she looks more like a Monster Hunter character.
I mean, it's nearly identical, dude. And even just
it's not.
Come on. This right here, if I just put Horizon over the name of this, you would think it was Horizon.
The text is totally different.
No, come on. Don't even get started on text. It's
her tall thing doesn't even have antlers, bro. What kind of animal has a big disc head? None of them.
She even has a bow that looks the same.
They don't own bows. Sony didn't make bows, dude.
It's the style.
Zelda has a bow.
Dude, it looks like Aloy. It 100% does. It looks like the exact same world.
It doesn't matter. They don't own redheaded chicks in tribal outfits. That's not a thing that you can own.
I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay, cool. Hey, that worked. That was pretty cool.
It looks like it, but that's
the argument. It looks like it.
Yeah, but you can own Mario. Mario is a character. He is Mario. This is not Aloy. This is like Sonic. This is like the Sonic version of Aloy.
You were going to say
couldn't sue Sonic.
I thought you were going to say a Sonic version of Sonic, and I'm like, what the hell is Sonic?
The gross looking Sonic.
Yeah, gross looking Sonic. Let's see. I'm trying to. Plaintiff has sued a grab bag of Tencent companies. All right, I don't know. I'm not going to try and find the exact same thing. Oh, okay. And Sony's telling Horizon Zero Dawn is like no fictional world created before it or since, claiming that claim is startling because it's flatly contradicted by Sony's developers. Yeah, so that was a whole thing as well built into this. That Sony said, "Hey, we got our inspiration from this," which directly contradicts exactly what they were saying. But that said, come on, man. Like they look. When I first saw that image, I thought I was looking at a new Horizon game. Like straight up, thought it
I
was a new
mean,
Horizon game.
yeah, but that's the thing. There's like, tell me why any car racing game is different from any other car racing game. Like, if you can just say, guess what? We own the idea of cars on a track in 3D space in a video game. How is that different?
Here, let's find the AI example here. I said, what is the exact lawsuit between Sony and Tencent? So they claim that Light
Yeah,
Motorum.
it's not going to give you a real answer.
No, I'm finding the overview, just a really quick overview. Copies protected audiovisual elements from Horizon Zero Dawn sequels. Uh, alleges that Tencent adopted character design branding confusingly similar to Horizon's protagonist Aloy, which is true in my opinion here. Damages thought Sony is pursuing statutory damages of $150,000 per infringed work and wants to block the game's release entirely. Tencent's defense, they argue Sony's trying to monopolize conventions, claiming Horizon itself borrowed heavily from earlier titles like Enslaved Odyssey to West. Tencent says Sony has shown that any meeting or action caused, or that hasn't shown any meeting or action caused harm, and that the game hasn't even been released yet. That's true. After the lawsuit, Tencent altered Light Motorum's Steam page to remove Horizon-like imagery. So, to your point, the game's not out yet. They could change. It could be an entirely different game, but I would say, based on how close it is in resemblance, I think there is an argument to be made here, and Sony could actually win this. I think they have a better argument personally than like Nintendo against Palworld. Just based on
I
everything
mean,
that's
I
tied to
don't think they
Palworld.
can win anything until the game comes out, right?
I mean, they're trying to block the release, so the game wouldn't even come out. And I would think that in court, they would have to reveal everything that they have up to this point, I would imagine, on the game. Again, we're not lawyers, but I think if you're in court and you're trying to argue, hey, this game's the same, I think Tencent would have to bring forward.
I don't know. That's a little bit like if I said something about you and you were like, I'm going to take you to court for slander because you probably were going to say a bunch of other stuff about me too.
Well, you can only
Like, it's about what I said. That's why we're going to court. We're not going to court over what I could have said. Like, whatever that game is or isn't, what we know is that there was a trailer with some robot animals and a girl with red hair and tribal aesthetics.
So the main part of the lawsuit for me, and that's what I had noted earlier, is that it alleges that they adopted character design. The branding is confusingly similar to Horizon's protagonist Aloy. And that
It
whole,
doesn't look anything. I mean, it's just,
we need the people in the comments to tell us what they think. I think that
hey,
that
if
needs to
you're a
happen.
shill, tell us.
If you're a
Let us
shill,
know that you're shilling for Sony and that you believe in corporations as being better than every other.
doesn't Tencent have more money than Sony?
I don't care who has more money. All corporations suck.
Okay, no, I'm looking this one up too. All right, let's see.
No, they don't have more money. There's no way Tencent has more money than Sony.
Tencent's market value is 747 billion. Sony is 176 billion, Ryan. So you're the shill.
Wait, are you talking Sony in general or Sony Entertainment?
It doesn't even matter. Sony in general, because if you think about Sony Entertainment, it's even less than that. So it says Tencent is four times.
How is Tencent that much bigger? Like,
So
I
you're
don't have
the
a
shill.
Tencent TV.
You're trying to defend the almost $1 trillion company, Ryan. My company's not even $250 million or $250 billion.
Yes. Anyway,
argument one. Let's continue.
the corporations always win, John.
That's really at the end of the day. And that's the funny thing. What did it say? $150,000 per infringed work? Like, that's a drop in a bucket. Tencent just be like, okay, cool. We'll knock the game out and here you go. Just settle at that point. All right. Anything else on this? Since you're shilling for
no.
Tencent now?
I've never played either game. Well, obviously, I've never played the one that isn't out, but I've never played either of the Horizon games, and
I haven't played the newest one. I need to, but you should play it. The first one was really good. I liked it. It was a solid game. All right, let's. I can't believe they're that big, dude, of a company. I didn't even realize
I
Tencent was that
guess.
big. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy market value. All right, so Prince of Persia 2, The Shadow and the Flame, developed by, what is it called again, Ryan? Broderbund?
Broderbund.
Broderbund. All right, cool. Published by Broderbund and Ubisoft. Designed by Jordan Mechner. I'm getting my pronunciations right on this one because I put my hyphens. And I also knew what it was. Released in 1996, it is a cinematic platformer with a reception of 7 out of 10. All right, synopsis. What do we got here?
The evil Jafar has returned, and disguising himself as the prince, seeks to have the real prince captured. Prince flees for his life and narrowly escaping his home by ship. The prince must then fight and journey his way across myth and legend to return home to avenge himself. Yeah, so this takes place like 11 days after the first game. It is another crazy hard cinematic platformer, which is a fun idea, but less fun in actual execution. So this is one of those games where jumping is difficult and mistakes are punished heavily. I would definitely recommend playing this on some sort of game with save states if you intend to make any real progress in any real amount of time.
Yeah, so what is it? 75 minutes you get to complete the full game, and I will say that I did not have a very good time at first. To me, it was a little clunky pulling out my sword, and the battling or fighting with the sword was very
Oh, I love that
interesting.
little shimmy walk though when you just leave your sword out.
Just like shimmy across. Yeah, you kind of have to in some instances, just because
It
enemies will
takes
come
so
out and
long to
flank you.
sheathe and withdraw it again.
Yeah, yeah. Or you accidentally jump in the process instead of unsheathing your sword. That happened to me multiple times.
Yeah.
I did kind of like the battling though, like being able to use the D-pad to,
Wha-
yeah,
Just kind of
actually,
whack a dude off the the ledge.
yeah. So obviously this is a sequel. The first one didn't have a ton of like, it wasn't really focused on fighting necessarily. It was more sort of puzzles and jumps and with the battles on occasion. This is very battle heavy, which kind of hurts a bit in your progress of the game because the puzzles are, from a rating standpoint and overall feedback that was provided over years, they are a lot more difficult and to get through than the first one. So you got 75 minutes to beat the game. You've got extra battles that you need to deal with compared to the other one. Plus the complexity of the puzzles is also there as well. So yeah, that was like even that first puzzle trying to hop back and forth between those stones to get through
That was
to
hard.
that was a tough one to figure out. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? And I saw, okay, a stone disappears, I gotta jump. And even that, like if you mess up, okay, cool. Now you
The
fall in this.
timing.
Yeah, the timing's weird. You fall in the quicksand. All right, now I've got to, at least you have unlimited lives in the game. So that's kind of cool that it kind of auto save states to a certain point and then you can just kind of keep trying. I don't remember if the time continues to move forward though during
I
that.
think the time is
I
always
think
going. I
yeah,
think
because
that's the trick of it.
it's like real time. So yeah, it's a tough game. It is a little clunky for me. Um, it does have some complex puzzles, which unless you're cheating nowadays, I don't see how that was easy to do back then. I would guess you play it, you after 50 minutes realize, oh crap, I'm never gonna beat this game. I gotta restart. Or 75 minutes passes and you have to restart the game again. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but I will say in terms of games on the Super Nintendo and cinematic platformers, it was actually pretty fun overall for me. I wouldn't say it's the worst game I've ever played on the console. And the reason that is because that battling stands out to me.
Yeah, I think this is a game that's probably better played on the PC, just because there's more of it. There's actually a lot of content that was cut from the Super Nintendo version, so
Including the final
not really
level.
working with the definitive version of the game there.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I was reading this as well. You can actually unlock there's like a Sega version that was supposed to be released and it was completed, and they ended up not releasing it for the Genesis, I believe it was. And if you have the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time on the Xbox, the original Xbox, and not the PAL version, just the US release or NTSC, you can actually unlock this game on there. If you are playing Xbox PAL, PS2, or GameCube, it unlocks the original Prince of Persia. So kind of a cool thing if you're looking to collect different versions of Prince of Persia. There is that little bit of info out there, but yeah, overall, I liked it. It's not my favorite. It does, require a little bit of thinking. A lot of puzzles and some weird puzzles too. I mean, there's certain areas where you have to like jump to hit a brick, for example, or not a brick, but a piece of stone, and that affects another area, right? And that'll hit a switch and do other things of that nature. So I this is really one of those things that if you are
It's
not
from a difficult era of gaming.
it is, but like even more so difficult than a lot of his other games. Like for this, you would have to be looking at a magazine or finding something on the
Or
internet
being a kid with just way too much time.
or calling the Nintendo hotline, like, or asking a friend for different tips or reading interviews in which they talk about it. So finding that type of information, unlocking this was very difficult back then versus now we find a YouTube video of somebody playing it through. We're like, okay, cool. Yeah. Bounce here, do that, do that.
Game fact.
Yeah. So if you went into this game blind and just decided to play it without any support, good luck. This is a tough one for sure. But yeah, let's go into brass tacks, I guess. I'll hand it to you.
All right. Complete in box will run you $93.48. That peaked at $171.86 in December of 2022. It's currently holding its price, and a loose copy will run you $38.99. Peaked at $64.72 in May 2024. It's trending up.
Yeah. I think it's a little high price. Let's see what a copy of
It is.
Yeah. Let's look up price charting here. I just want to see what Sands of Time on the Xbox costs. All right. So if we're looking at the OG Xbox, you can pick up Sands of Time right now for $10 complete in box and then unlock this game if you really want to go that way. And I've also heard that the Xbox version, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, is the superior version. Outside of PC, I think PC is supposed to be better. So you're getting a superior Sands of Time compared to PS2 or GameCube. And you're also getting this game bundled in, which is normally $38. I think that's a better deal.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that the Windows box art much cooler than the Super Nintendo box art.
I have to share my screen one more time, Ryan. Just to go back to
Hey, it's a new technology. Abuse it.
I am. So here is in my defense, which is no defense at all. Here's Slavic people, Ryan. So just throwing it out there. You got the head piece, so I think that's kind of close to Aloy. I'll just throw it out there.
All right, Sony,
All right.
you found your next target.
The Slavic people, that's Sony's next target. Oh man. Okay, cool. So we are in agreement that this is inflated.
Yes,
Okay,
by
cool.
far.
All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and tag that on, and we have one more sequel next week, right?
Yep.
So we've done
The sequel to this episode.
this. Sure, we'll go with that. I'm trying to think. I want to play something that we've already done. Donkey Kong Country 2. We've done a Kirby game. We've done Mario 2 in the past, so we can't do that one, right? We've now done Prince of Persia. There's got to be another we did Rival Schools. No, we didn't do Rival Schools. Oh, actually, that would be a good one. Rival Schools 2. Although that might be hard for us to come across. Yeah, there is. I think it's only on Dreamcast and a Japanese only release. So yeah, that wouldn't work.
Well, that's going to be way too hard.
Yeah, no, it's too much. We did Streets of Rage.
We'll find something. We'll let y'all know.
Gran Turismo 2, going with the Sony theme.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good way to close it out.
And then Sony can sue all other car games because cars on tracks are their thing.
Ryan, they're not racing games.
That.
Gran Turismo is a racing simulator. It's very different.
Yeah, I know, but all games featuring cars and roads are Sony products, right? Like I would be confused if like sometimes when I'm out driving, it's hard to tell in real life that it's not a Sony product when I'm looking through the windshield of my car because there's cars and roads and those are all Gran Turismo to me.
I heard Nintendo's going back in time to sue Sony for the cardboard on the original PS1 games. Because, you know, they own cardboard. They do. Okay. Well, until then, this has been
on PS1 games, no cardboard.
yeah.
Those are jewel case.
No, the long boxes. You never seen
The
it
long
was like you never
boxes.
seen a long box?
Yeah, no, I just always think of like the regular jewel case ones.
Yeah. Well, see, I had Slavish and Slavic. You had or Slavish, and you had jewel cases and long boxes. We both had our gaffs today. That's great. All right, cool. I got one
Yep.
over on you.
Exactly the same.
All right. Well, I am the Palworld shill. Ryan is the Tencent shill. This has been episode 360 of the Game Deflators podcast. My name's John.
And I'm Ryan.
You're Ryan. Yep. Thanks for listening and watching.